And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Monday, October 7th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. It's a Monday morning, and we welcome you to Coleman and Company, rain and all. We welcome the rain. Good morning to you. Don Hamlet's here for Absolute Kubota. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And we do welcome that rain.
Yes, we do.
We needed, I don't know how much has fallen, and it was barely sprinkling at my house when I got in the car, but it was a lot more out here.
I think they're saying anywhere from 5 inches west of Nashville to maybe an inch and a quarter here or so.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we do start every Monday morning off with a representative from Absolute Kubota. Absolute Kubota specializes in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. They also carry Exmark mowers. Exmark is one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country. Now, they're located in the same building as Absolute Rental and Supply, which specializes in tool and equipment rental. Again, Don Hamlet is with us today. Don is in sales at Absolute Kubota, which is open Monday through Friday, 7 to 6, 7 to 4 on Saturdays, and they're located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon, behind Advance Auto Parts. Just look for their big sign or the orange tractors. Phone number 615-449-6171. The website www.absolutekubota.com, and they hope you'll also check them out on Facebook. All right. How dry did you say it had been?
Pretty dry.
You said driest you'd seen in 10 years.
I felt like it's the driest I've seen it be in about 10 years for this time of the year. You know, sometimes we get some dry spells in July and August, but for September, 1st of October, it'd be 90-something degrees and as dry as it was. But I think this amount of rain right here we've got is going to get us on into our grass growing season. So
that's so. You've been busy, I'm sure, but you're going to be busy in a different way now.
Oh yeah, everything's changing over. Not it was so dry that I haven't cut my yard in 2-3 weeks or so, and I don't think most other people have either. Which it isn't the worst thing in the world. I'm about sick of cutting grass by this time of the year.
You save a little gas.
Yes, right. Thimbleful. But it is the time of the year. The fall of the year is the time of the year to aerate and overseed your lawn. And we've got all the product. We do have a new guy with us. His name is Ben Spurlock. If you call and one of our guys says, well, hey, let me get Ben to give you a call, don't panic. He is a very intelligent guy when it comes to everything to do with turf. So if you call in and someone says, let me get Ben to give you a call, it is the time of the year to aerate, overseed, put fertilizer out. This is grass growing season. The temperatures look like they're going to be getting about right for this week. We've got plenty of moisture out there right now. So
you well stocked with all of this, I'll bet.
Oh man, we've got pallets of seed and fertilizer bagged up, sitting all over the place.
And you probably had it for a while, anticipating today about 3 weeks ago.
Today, we should have had this weather a good 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm sure all the landscaping companies, if they've got yards that have irrigation, it was no problem. They were going ahead and going with their fall programs, but everybody else has been holding off. So I'm sure, maybe not today since it's still raining outside, but I'd say the rest of the week there'll be a steady flow of people coming in, getting a bag or two of seed and fertilizer.
But you do have all of this to take care of them. You have the expertise. You know what to tell them, how to do it, answer their questions, in other words, and help them in that way.
Yes, we do. We have the program sheets. Anybody that's ever been into our shop and asked us anything, we have the sheets made up that tell you each month or each quarter what to do, what to apply. We let everybody know. It's about a 2-year program. It takes a little bit of habit on your lawns, to get it up to par. But a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to aerate and overseed, and I'm going to have the most beautiful lawn for the next 15 years. It's a little work involved.
A little more to it than that.
Just a little bit.
That's a start.
That is a great start, though. and it's our RTV season. If anybody's been into our showroom, they'll know that most of the year we run around with some 40 different lawnmowers in our showroom. Right now, we've got all those pared down, and I think we have some 12 or 15 RTVs, which are the side-by-side recreational vehicles. You can get up to, I think some $2,300 off of those, and maybe some of the people might have even noticed in their mail last week some coupons are going to be popping around. So if they can grab those and bring those in, it's going to be a great time of the year for those, too.
They are really popular numbers and such a versatile utility things to do so many things with them.
Oh, you can do anything from running around just simply checking your fences to putting your grandkids in there and taking them for a ride. Grandpa would be the hero if we had an RTV to put your grandkids in the back and ride them around on the farm. From that, just to go on and playing with them, you know, for the younger sector people that want to do that.
But a lot you can get to a lot of places in those that you probably can't with a truck.
Oh yeah, they're 4-wheel drive. We have diesel and gas. The new sidekicks will run about 45 miles an hour for the thrill seekers. I don't know if I care so much about going that fast across the field, but you know, the ones that want to do it, those things, they'll get it, man. They're most best towing capacity of any RTV in the industry.
Got it right here in Lebanon.
Right here in Lebanon on Main Street.
Kubota.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate your visit. You'll be with us here on Monday mornings throughout the month of October. And again, we certainly welcome the rain. The rain's going to change what you're doing, but it's going to be a good change and going to be a busy October now.
Let's hope so.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.
All right. Don Hamlet, he's in sales at Absolute Kubota right here in Lebanon, Tennessee, 1325 West Main Street. We are 9:30 after the hour. Sheriff Robert Bryan joins us this morning to be my guest here. And Sheriff, good morning. I'm doing well, and I think all of us appreciate having some rain. It's been so dry.
I woke up this morning, just saw that rain. It was great to see. It's been
you
real
probably
dry.
wanted to roll over and go back to sleep.
Apparently, my mic ain't working, but we needed some rain. It was getting real dry. You know, we had these burn bans and different things going on across the state, and even here in Wilson County. So it's a good thing to see.
Well, I don't guess anybody's going to want to be burning while it's raining.
No,
but
yeah, let's hold off just a minute. Let's get good saturated ground before we do any of that. So
do we wait till the ban is officially called off?
Yes,
Okay.
it had to be officially, and that's a Director Cooper question. But yeah, we've been in contact with them during this whole burn ban to, if we catch anybody out there, they would be cited. So. It's that should be lifting that here pretty soon.
Well, has anybody been cited that you know of?
Yes, there's been a couple of people. So it's
well,
we told them, we warned them, and it's it was advertised. So we got to do what we got to do.
Well, you pay a fine. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, pretty much. Unless there's major damage to some other private property or something.
What about if somebody did it twice in the same dry period?
I would probably get arrested, but it's majority 99% of the people done what they're supposed to do, and like I said, just a very small percentage that we had to deal with.
Well, what else is going on?
I'm just staying busy. I know the Titans may need a kicker today if you're eligible there, Coleman.
That was an awful game.
I don't mean to change the subject, but
I was as irritated as the officials as I was the kicker, quite frankly, because even the I know we're supposed to listen to it on the radio since we have it here. I wasn't listening to the radio. I was watching a TV. TV commentator said Mariota's back foot was not past the line of scrimmage, and it would be overturned, they thought, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a big thing in the ball game, and they actually scored two different times,
got called back,
and didn't get either one of them.
But I was listening to it on this local radio station, Coleman, so I was going to tell you that. So.
Mike Keith,
touchdown! Oh man! But no, it's been it's a busy time of year, and it's fall time, and we got a lot going on at the office. Actually, we had 8 different individuals start the police academy last Sunday, and we're trying to get them prepared for that, and that that's 12 weeks of rigorous training, and you got to prepare them. We started during the budget cycle we was asking for extra personnel, and part of this is some of them that we got approved for.
Well, this. You prepare them because I would guess, especially if they haven't been in the military or anything like that, kind of this is in the same manner sort of as
it's a
military
whole lot
training?
It's a whole lot similar, and we've got you get people show up down there on the first day, and it is military type thing, and some people just they'll walk out that first day. It's so rigorous the first day, but we don't want to send somebody down there that's not prepared. So you got physical preparedness, you got different laws and different things that you got to teach them before they get down there, so they won't be bombarded when they walk in that door, and they come from all across the state, and some of them walk in there and it scares them to death, and they walk out and leave.
Did you have that same training?
Yeah, it was 8 weeks when I went. Okay, that's been a few years ago, but now it's 12 weeks.
Well, you probably
and I wasn't prepared. I'm going
weren't?
to tell you, no, at the time I was not. I mean, I knew, I've been around this all my life, but back when I started, it was a whole different type of deal. You talking about 30 years ago? It was that you'd get hired on. They'd throw you a set of keys and tell you to go to work. You don't do it no more. You've got different things you've got to do for them to get them prepared to even turn them loose on the road.
And I'll bet a lot of this has to do with possible lawsuits if they should. Well, if they've had the proper training, they're probably not going to do some of the things that might happen otherwise. And it's a protective thing.
It's all of the above. You got to prepare them for different things, and you got to let them know what the liabilities are out there, because there's a lot of them out there in this profession. And you try to get them prepared where they make the right decisions. You prepare them on policies and procedures and different things like that. And so if they follow policy and follow procedures that we train them, they'll be protected by our attorneys and everything else.
And so they're going to be there how long?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. That's almost a quarter. That's almost 3 months.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's once they get out, and that's what people need to understand. Once we get position approved, like we had these 3 or 4 like this past budget cycle, these are them going through. They won't get out till Christmas, right at Christmas, and then after they return, you've got about 14 weeks of on the job training before you ever turn them loose. So it takes time. So somebody,
you're talking about at least 6 months,
at least before you ever get them ready to go. So
yeah. And
it's we do our best.
That's quite a bit of an investment there.
It is, and I can just imagine what these departments. The ones that some departments across the state that put people into the academy, and a lot of these departments don't pay enough money to these people, and they'll get certified. Once you get that certification, you could probably go anywhere in the state and work. And I see that a lot. I got applications on my desk from everywhere of people that's just been through the academy a year ago, wanting to work here. We do our best to try to pull the people from our correctional facility that's been working back there for years, because we know who they are. We know their work ethics. So we've got the advantage there because we know the people we're sending through there.
Mm-hmm. Sheriff Robert Bryan is with us. It's time for us to take a break. This is Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and get $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Bumper-to-bumper traffic here, 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Trying to get down from the north. It looks like a wreck 65 north here at 440 as you come up from the south. Traffic's already building now, not only in that area coming up from Williamson County, but 24 is heavy also up through the Hickory Hollow area. All that traffic flow coming out of Murfreesboro. Hey, celebrate autumn this year at Oberg-Gatlinburg during Oktoberfest now through October 28th. Check it out, obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
With the new Kubota Sidekick, durability meets speed. It's the first gas-powered utility vehicle of its kind, built with acceleration and handling that blur the line between working hard and having fun. Right now, get the Sidekick for 0 down and 3.99% financing for 60 months, plus a $1,000 instant cash rebate. Now through December 31st, 2019. See them or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Kubota, shape your world. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main in Lebanon or call 615-449-6171.
Head coach Mike Vrabel's in year number 2 with talent on defense.
It's intercepted. Kevin Myers, Jarrell Casey, John Evans, Landry with the sack.
Join us right here with the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Coach Dave McGinnis.
Brought to you by Absolute Kubota Exmart, Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, Steve Moe Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Goldman & Company, thanks for joining us, and we always appreciate a visit from Sheriff Robert Ryan. We try to have him here each month. Usually it's the first Monday of the month, like as it is today. Not always. It's not set in stone. Every once in a while you have to be somewhere else.
That's right.
Whatever.
That's right.
But Vicki does a great job of keeping us on schedule and keeping you informed and letting me know whether you're available or not.
I go in every morning. She tells me which direction to go. So, and she texted me last night and told me to be here. So we're good.
I'm wondering about. We talked about this before, and I think it's still to be determined. But you're still working on the jail edition, right?
Yes, we are, and we're the process we're in right now. We're sort of finalizing the actual architectural plans as it relates to. Living areas, pods, different booking areas, medical, different things like that, and we're there. I mean, like we're pretty much meeting once or twice a week with the architect. We're pretty close to that, and I anticipate that they'll probably send them plans off for the different type of engineers, and maybe we'll see something over the next couple of months, probably January, I would say, to be prepared for getting it out for bid.
Are you hiring now?
The way we always have openings in our correctional facility. As far as certified patrol people, as I said a while ago, we pull most of them out of corrections. But we always got a little bit of turnover in them ones that's working in the jail, for the main fact that it's a good job, but it's a rough job. It's probably one of the toughest jobs there because they have to work back there and inside the jail with them inmates every day. And inmates are in jail because of a reason. Okay, because they can't act right, and Judge Hamilton knows what I'm talking about.
Judge Hamilton has just. I got an idea that John Sloan's got you here to talk on the second half, Judge. But it doesn't preclude us from saying hello early, since you are early.
It's
and,
good. It's good to
you
see
might
you.
You might have a question or two for the sheriff this morning.
I just think you do it.
I got a question for the judge. How's retirement? I've heard it's pretty good.
I really do. I really loved the job that I did. I felt so honored. Really, every day going to work, I really liked it. But I just felt like I was almost 68 when I retired 4 years ago, and I just felt like, that was a good time. And of course, it's kind of a commitment for 8 years if you're running. So I retired, and I really felt at the time that I would like to, fill in, like when either Judge Tatum or Judge Barry would be gone, and they haven't really needed that. But I wouldn't want to do it at all. I love the people. I miss the people. But as far as making decisions like that, I just wouldn't want to do that anymore.
We miss you, Judge.
Well, I really miss the people.
And that's the thing, we work with the court system every day of the week. I pretty much was in direct communications with it, just like Judge Hamilton.
Sure.
And if them two entities working together, keeps this system running,
right.
And that's real important. So, and it was always great with Judge Hamilton.
Well, thank you.
Let me direct something else here. I know we've talked a little bit about this, but mostly we've talked about it more in the fact that because we have growth, we have to have more money to take care of your needs. But as we see more growth, you just anticipate being called more people being arrested, more crimes being committed, simply because of more people being here.
And I thought this the other day, how many people sit at this table and talk to you every morning? How many times you hear the word growth?
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And yes, it's affecting everything. It's not just affecting law enforcement or WEMA, but it's affecting schools. It's just affecting everything, cities, counties, everything. But yeah, we just try
our
to,
roads and infrastructure is another thing.
It's a whole other situation. And yeah, you're right. You try to anticipate, where we're going or where we need to be once that more growth comes. And we do our best to do that. We're not always right, but we do our best to stay ahead of it. And this new jail's a prime example.
Yeah.
We're preparing. We're preparing for the future is what we're trying to do.
Well, I think you've also mentioned the fact that out on the highways that you patrol, being more people there, that there's more reason to have patrolmen out there.
It's you just look at you get out on the roads on. It's every day, but like on Fridays, I mean, it's just traffic, and the number of traffic complaints we get in a day's time, it would amaze you. And I couldn't hire enough people to go address. We'll address them for a day or two the best we can, and move on to the next one, whichever one's causing the most concern, or maybe there's more wrecks or certain areas.
You have people, citizens who are calling because people are going too fast.
And most of all, it's through the neighborhood. You got a lot of complaints of with all these new neighborhoods popping up, people cutting through and speeding through there, and but all in all, it's just about everywhere. And we do our best to try to keep it from happening, but there's no way. I mean, I couldn't hire enough people to do that. So we have been a little bit more aggressive with speeders than we used to be, but we just do our best to try to slow people down.
Are you, I know you're paying attention to the news and the word opioid, the drug situation, illegal drug trafficking, all of this is something you're involved with, but maybe we ought to discuss that a little this morning.
My stance on that is, we're not going to, and I've said it before, we're not going to rest our way out of this. It's a nationwide problem. If you've seen the news here lately, we've had a couple here locally that, we're not after the addict. Okay, the addict's not the problem. It is a problem, but the dealers out there selling this stuff's the problem. And we've aggressively gone after them dealers, and we'll continue to do that. We've had a lot of deaths as it relates to overdoses, and we've seen here over the past few weeks. I know we've had a couple, and Lebanon's had a couple where the dealers were actually charged with them deaths. There's a new law that took effect last year that's allowing us to charge these people for selling this stuff that's killing people. And we're going to continue to aggressively do that. I know we got some cases coming down the pipe that's going to, you'll see that coming out.
Are our laws strict enough? Is incarceration long enough for what we're dealing with?
It's the number of people that walk through that jail doors up there. It's scary, the ones that are addicted to this stuff. And once they come in, it's hard to get them off of it. You can't just cut them off cold turkey. You got to medicate them with other stuff to try to get them off of it. And we got
that's part of your job while they're in jail.
That you got to, or you're gonna have problems. And we got nurses and doctors and different things in house that got protocols to how they handle these individuals, and we do a pretty good job. I ain't gonna say we do a pretty good job, knock on wood. But these people come in there and they're just high as a kite on stuff, and and no family's immune to this. I've had the wealthiest to the poorest mom and daddy sitting in my office crying, worried about little Johnny or little Jane, worried about them. But we're going to do everything. We're going to stay hard on it, and go back to, it's a nationwide problem, and you just don't see this in Wilson County, Tennessee.
Yeah, we're not immune. We're not immune here. We have it here, but we're not the only one.
That's right. There's a bigger picture here.
Yeah. So, Judge Hamilton, you on the bench for what, 16 or 24 years, whichever one it was.
28 years. 28 years, huh? And that's what John Sloan is asked me to come in and be with him later today about the hospitality house, and the addiction thing affects marriages. It affects families to the core. It affects all types of crime. if there, of course, that would be a perfect world, but if there wasn't addiction, I mean, you wouldn't need a new jail. It just, people do extreme things to feed a habit. And, you know, on a habit like that, it's not a matter of sending them to a rehab, and let's say it's even for 2 weeks or a month, sending to a rehab that would cost a lot of money. And once they walk out of that rehab, they're a new person. They don't want the drugs anymore. Well, that's not true. It's something that continues on. It's something that faces them every day. And, you know, we all have problems, and that's a way that they relieve the pressure of life. And, you know, it's just, it's an ongoing thing that's just very difficult to work with. In this opioid, you at least, like with alcohol, you could take a room, I don't know the exact numbers, and we could all start drinking every day a lot. And not all of us would turn out to be alcoholics. You know, it would just be a certain, you can't predict which person it is, but you can predict the percentage. Well, I think with the opioids, almost 100% of the people are addicted. You know, it's just terrible.
Well, it's that probably makes your job a lot more difficult, Sheriff.
It does. But I'm gonna say something about the groups that y'all are fixing to talk about. I think that they're a big help in what we do. We work closely with these different organizations to try to get these people the help they need or the support they need, and you know, that if we just open the door and turn them right back out, we're not going to accomplish nothing. You've got to have some way to point them in the right direction, get them around the people that know what their problem is.
Sure.
And that's what's important. And because we don't want them coming back, we don't want them get another call out there, somebody overdosed. Well, but I'm getting tired of getting them calls all the time. I'm getting tired of it.
We've come to the end of our time here. Sheriff Robert Bryan, we appreciate your visit, and we'll have you back again next time. And thanks for all you're doing and for participating with us.
And I want to compliment Chris Dow on the job he's doing too.
What's he doing?
He's doing a great job. What he does. He texts me. I just want you to know.
All right. Thanks, Sheriff. Thanks very much. Sheriff Robert Bryan. That's part one of Coleman & Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat. 1325 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still heavy traffic here, making its way up through Williamson County as we check it out live on 65 going northbound, 40 westbound. It's going to be between Donaldson Pike and Briley Parkway on a wreck. They're trying to move over to the side. It's right up near the airport. You come through Hermitage, Donaldson, building pretty good now out of Wilson County. Obviously here on 40 westbound through Mount Juliet. Celebrate autumn at Ober-Gatlinburg during Oktoberfest now through October 28th. Check it out, obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
She's taken care of you your whole life. Now it's your turn to take care of her. But with a family of your own and other responsibilities, there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's why it might be time to call the Pavilion Senior Living. From bathing, dressing, housekeeping, and meals, the Pavilion Senior Living is committed to being senior living you can trust for your loved one. Find out more at pavilionseniorliving.com or call 444-5556. That's 444-5556.
If you're a fan of Wilson County High School football, make sure to tune in to the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday after the Lebanon High football game right here on WANT 98.9. Hi, I'm John Boyce. Trent Perry and myself will have all the mid-state scores as well as interviews from each coach within the county. The Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Mitchie's Landscape and Design, Palometto's Insurance, Kenny Salas and Justin Davis with Blackwell Realty, and Sammy Bees. The Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night.
Someday you may wake up and think, uh-oh, I'm running out of time to do something about retirement. Waypoint Financial Partners can help you do something now that may provide a solid future for you and your family. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Rumor is that ghosts are running rampant in Fiddler's Grove. On October 12th at 7 p.m., ghostly stories come to life as you move from one storyteller to the next. The Tennessee Ghostbusters will be doing the Monster Mash. Beware when you ride the haunted trolley looking for the Headless Horseman or Layuella's apparition. $7 for adults and $4 for 16 and under. Bring your own bag to trick or treat. Last call is at 9 p.m.
Now you can get a great-looking cut in less time every time with an Exmark. The Mowers Landscape Pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand of mowers. Right now, step up to Exmark with their newly redesigned Quest Zero-Turn Riders, the Exmark Radius, or go pro with the Exmark Laser Z, the most respected zero-turn mower in the business. Check them out today at Absolute Kubota, 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon. Exmark, ready to work for you.
The start of a new work week is here and much more fall-like weather is in the forecast. We could see a few leftover showers early on today, but we'll finally start to dry out come this afternoon. Highs will only top out in the mid-70s. If you're going to be out and about tonight, no problems weather-wise. However, it will be chilly. We'll see partly cloudy skies with lows falling to right around the 50-degree mark. That's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
And we welcome you to part 2 of Coleman Company here on a rainy Monday morning. It's time to talk about Rocky Williams, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, and of course, Billy Monax. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. I heard you say the other day that you had only missed one time since you've been a sponsor. You're an advertiser here. One time that you haven't been here.
And that's been about 7.5 years.
You've done better than me.
Well, I missed you last week, but
Well,
Judge Tatum does a wonderful job filling in.
Keep hearing that. And then the sheriff, every time he sees you, he always calls you NoHaggle.
That's
He
right.
did this morning.
Yes, he did.
Anyway, that leads us to talk about the NoHaggle pricing at Rocky Williams, where everybody pays the same and great low price, and it's been that way from the beginning.
That's right, Coleman. And that's why, if you were doing what everybody else was doing, the sheriff wouldn't call me NoHaggle because everybody'd be doing that. But when you're different, you separate yourself, and you follow the things that you do. And so that even, I pay the exact same price if I buy a vehicle that everybody else does. Even my friend Coleman Walker bought a vehicle there a few years ago. He paid exactly the same price. And even Rocky Williams' children pay the exact same low price that everybody else does.
But it is a great low price.
It's a great low price, Coleman, because, I would say 80-90% of the people start shopping online this day and time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if your price isn't very, very competitive, even a price that other dealers really don't want to get down to, nobody ever shows up. So you can't just put a high price out there and say take it or leave it when you're a NoHaggle dealer.
Right.
You have to give a great price that even when people go to these other dealers and say, and they have an advantage over us, Coleman, because other dealers can deviate on their price. So if they take our price to another dealer and say, this is what Rocky Williams can do, they say, well, I'll do $100 better.
Mm-hmm.
We have to make it to where either one of two things happen. Either they say, well, we just can't do that, and we hear that on a regular basis, or they do, and they don't have any fun when they do it. We've taken all the fun out of it for them. and that happens also.
Yeah.
There's dealers that we're not the most liked as dealers you can imagine, because we've taken a lot of the profit out of the car sales.
But the thing about it is, if they come back to you and say, well, XYZ over here said he'd take $100 less, you say, well, you better go do that.
There's nothing that we can do about that, Coleman, and that's what we have to tell people. I mean, then you really have to go take that deal because we can't deviate on our price.
But, of course, to find out about all these deals, so many people anymore get on the internet and they go to RockyWilliams.com.
Might see your neighbor there, Coleman.
RockyWilliams.com. Well, I'll tell you what you will see. You may see your neighbor, but you're going to see your entire inventory, and you're going to see the great low price that you have there. You've got that for your all your new vehicles and all your pre-owned ones. The price is there. You're proud of that price. You're not afraid to show it.
We're not afraid to show it, Coleman. We don't make you send your information in. We don't in order to get that price or for us to show that price. I seen a website the other day that all the prices were blocked out until you sent in your information, and then it says send your name and phone number in or email address to release or to unlock your e-price.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very transparent when you do that, Coleman. And so we put our price, we put it on the vehicle, we put it on our website, and it's a great low price, and everybody gets it.
Well, one of the good things about even if you can't go that $100 lower, if they do come on and buy with you anyway, they're going to get the great service after the sale, which means something. You've been there, you're going to take care of your customers, got a great service department.
That's right, Coleman. We've got a beautiful service department, air conditioned, which has been wonderful during these really hot days. And people, they'll say, well, that doesn't matter to me. Well, it does matter, because if our technicians are able to stay comfortable and work more efficiently because they don't have sweat running down in their eyes to where they can't see, and everybody knows that when you're comfortable and you're not burning up, you're gonna work a little quicker.
Yeah.
So we're able to get things done a little quicker and more efficiently, and certainly fix it right the first time more often.
Yeah. Well, one other thing we'll mention, it's a great advantage to you. Your location, you're right there off the interstate in Mount Juliet, next to Walmart and
Academy Sports.
Yep. Everybody knows where that is if you're familiar with Mount Juliet, and so you're just minutes away from a lot of people, and great sales, great service, and open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
That's right.
Okay.
8 to 9, Coleman. 13 hours in the day to come and take advantage of our great low no price.
Well, it's always good to have you here, and just keep on keeping on. We'll keep on talking about you and NoHaggle Pricing every Monday morning.
All right. Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Billy Mullinax, Rocky Williams, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. We're about 20 minutes before the hour. I've already introduced Judge Hamilton this morning. We'll introduce him again in a minute, but John Sloan's the man. John Sloan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
We're glad to have you here this morning, and I know that you've been under the weather a little bit. If I've seen a blog or two you've had on Facebook, and
Coleman, I kind of know how a deer feels now when
oh well. We're glad to have both of you, and Judge Hamilton, welcome again. I thought it was
my pleasure.
Since you've been a judge and you were very familiar with our subject this morning with the sheriff, that it was nice to have you here and get a few comments, and we appreciate you coming in early. John actually came in a little bit early and thought he was late.
Yeah, I heard Bob's voice, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, this morning, Coleman, has not been one of my better ones.
You've had some low getting from here to there problems.
Yeah, well, I got one truck at Kroger's with no power steering. I've got a car out in the parking lot that I can't turn off because I don't have the remote starter buoy. I'm about half soaking wet, but other than that, it's a great Monday morning.
As you get older, though, every morning that you're here is a pretty good morning.
Hey, if you're vertical, it's a great morning,
right.
and we're going to have a good time this week, especially Thursday night.
Well, let's talk about what's happening. That's why you're here. It's a great cause, and you've done this for several years now.
This will be our 6th annual. Yeah. The Fellowship House here on College Street here in Lebanon is a transitional house for men. We have beds for 10 men, and these are men who, most of them have just gotten out of jail or treatment of some kind, either for alcoholism or drug addiction. And as I heard y'all talking earlier, there's a certain percentage of people who, no matter what, are going to go back to the drugs and alcohol. If we can get 5% of all the men or all the people who come through the fellowship house each year, if we can get 5% of them to stay clean, that's way above the national average. So you can see what a problem it is. But unlike other transitional houses or halfway houses, as we used to call them before we got so politically correct, we only do one fundraiser a year, and this is it. It's our annual Catfish Chicken Dinner this Thursday night at the East-West Building of the Fairgrounds at 6 o'clock. Tickets are $25. You can get them in advance or at the door, and it's a great feed. And the first 5 that we've had, we've raised a little over $250,000. So it's our one fundraiser of the year, and it goes a long way to defray the operating costs.
Any particular thing you're needing funds for right now? Or?
Well, in addition to upkeep, the 2 houses we have are both old. And so upkeep is a continuing expense, but we're looking at expansion because this problem is growing. It's not shrinking in Wilson County, it's growing. We could probably very easily fill 30 beds and have a waiting list. So we're looking to expand our parking lot. We have 22 meetings a week there at the house, in addition to Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner, church on Sunday. So it's a well-used facility. We're constantly needing more parking. We need more beds. About every 4 or 5 months, something major goes wrong that needs fixing. So the money is all spent in a good way.
Yeah.
Our board of directors just paid nothing. They're all volunteers, and it's just a smooth run operation.
How did you get involved in this?
I'm an alcoholic.
So you...
It was pretty easy. I stayed drunk all the time. June 10th of 2010, I quit drinking.
Yeah.
And I, after about 6 weeks, realized I could not stay sober just with willpower alone. So I started going to AA meetings at the Fellowship House, and back then, an AA meeting was 99% alcoholics. Now it's 99% drug addicts and 1% alcoholics. So I've seen the problem change.
Yeah.
But that's how I got involved.
Well, let me ask the judge for a comment here, and then we'll go to a break. You maybe just seeing what you've seen in court for 28 years is enough to attract you here.
Well, I just realized the terrible problem when something takes over choice in your life, and it becomes the priority of getting alcohol or getting drugs. And one thing I would also want to tell people, that families that are experiencing this problem, the idea that you go to rehab, get out, and then you're able to take care of this for the rest of your life, that doesn't happen many times. It does sometimes. I think with John it did, but most of the time people will have a relapse or two. That doesn't mean that they are a failure. That they if they have the willpower and the support of others, like they do at the Fellowship House, you've got to have that support, like through AA. It really helps, and it's not like you're quitting for the rest of your life. You're just quitting like until the next meeting, or so. It's a terrible problem.
Rehab really is just the first step. Now, I've never been to rehab. I'm a very fortunate alcoholic. I've never been arrested. I've never had a bad wreck. Never lost a lot of money. Never got divorced. All of the bad things that customarily happen to alcoholics and drug addicts, I was able to avoid. But there's no mistake about it. I am an alcoholic, and it's, as Bob said, it's one day at a time. I only have to stay sober today. Yesterday's gone. Who knows about tomorrow?
Tomorrow's
so
not
today,
here yet.
I don't have to drink.
Yeah. Okay, John Sloan is with us. Judge Bob Hamilton is here, and we'll talk more after this break on Colbert and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental. Fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Quick turnaround on non-stocking parts. They have lots of stock parts. They're servicing Exmark, Kubota, Lampride, Red Max, and Billy Goat. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic. Here's Chuck.
Good morning. Very heavy traffic out here, 24 westbound. Now, as you make your way up through the Hickory Hollow area towards Nashville, coming from Murfreesboro, Traffic's on the increase big time here up by the airport. 40 coming through Hermitage, Donaldson. Sure, we've seen in several wrecks out of here. 65 northbound before you get to 440. They're coming up from the south over to the side. Hey, celebrate autumn at Ober-Gatlinburg during Oktoberfest now through October 28. Check it out, obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to rockywilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to rockywilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
Hi everybody, Tommy Bryan. Join me every Friday at 6:30. Lebanon High Football takes on some of the very best competition, brought to you by Absolute Kubota, DT McCall and Sons, K. Maynard State Farm Insurance, Bakes and Hooker, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Wilson Bank and Trust, Dickey's Barbecue Pit, and A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction. Lebanon entertains Stewart's Creek, Friday, October 18th. Hi everybody, it's Tommy Bryan. Tune in on Saturdays throughout the fall as Cumberland University's Phoenix takes on the very best in small college football. Cumberland travels to Lindsey Wilson in Columbia, Kentucky, Saturday, October 12th. Kickoff is at 1:30 p.m. Join me and Bob Lee Saturdays during the college football season right here on WANT and WCOR.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning, our final segment now. We've got John Stone, Judge Bob Hamilton here. The Fellowship House has a fundraiser, an annual fundraiser. Fellowship House is located over on
206 South College.
South College, and been there for quite some time. And you've been doing this, you said, for this will be your sixth one, I believe?
This is the sixth fundraising dinner, and it is the only fundraiser we do. And we go all out on it.
It is great. Great food. Great. I love the catfish.
Yeah,
it's great.
Catfish, chicken, every side dish you can think of, dessert. Last year, Bob was our guest speaker. This year, Judge Durham will be our guest speaker. And we don't bore you to death with a lot of talking. It's a good time for fellowship, to see old friends, and just have a good time. But make no mistake, our goal is to raise money.
Yeah. Well, you said you'd raised over the last 5 years. How much?
Roughly $250,000. We are averaging between $40,000 and $50,000 a year just through this fundraiser and through the support of the people here in Wilson County and other areas.
Well,
and
now,
let me mention, Coleman, we are not affiliated with anybody. No church, no company. We don't have any affiliation, but we sure do thank them for their donation.
Yeah, right. Well, you can make a donation without attending if you so desire, and probably a lot of people do that.
Simply mail a check to the Fellowship House, 206 South College, here in Lebanon. What, 37087?
37087. Right. Yes. Let's talk just a little bit about more of what you actually do there. You have beds. People come and stay. Hopefully they don't. They get better. They do their thing, and then somebody else maybe comes take their place. But you say you got room. I mean, you have need for a lot more than you're able to take care of.
Right. We have a waiting list. Let me give you kind of a simplified breakdown of how it works. We have two houses, basically almost across the street from each other. At the main Fellowship House, 206 South College, we have 3 bedrooms. We can accommodate 3, maybe 4 men there. But that is also our main gathering hall, our meeting place where we hold all our various meetings and church service and that sort of thing. The house across the street will sleep 7, 8 in a pinch. Both of the houses are older. Most of our men now are coming from drug court. We don't have many of the pure alcoholics anymore, but the regimen is the same. First of all, it's structured living. It's what these men need in their life, structure. Within a certain amount of time, they've got to get a job. Once they get a job and get on their feet a little bit, they have to start paying a nominal rent. They are random drug and alcohol tested. They have to attend meetings. There are chores they have to do around the place. They have a curfew. It's kind of like being a 13 or 14-year-old kid again. And our director of operations, Larry Garner, keeps watch over everything. And let me say this, our former director of operations, Chuck Keel, passed away here a few months ago, and he really is missed. But Larry Garner is doing a tremendous job. Our board of directors, with Dave Denny as chairman of the board, oversees everything, and they oversee the money. They make sure no money is spent frivolously, shall we say.
Right.
We, a year or so ago, purchased the land next to us, and we're in the process now of developing that, expanding the parking and building an outdoor pavilion to kind of expand what we can do in terms of outdoor meetings, with thoughts hopefully down the road of building some more dormitory type housing for more men. Because Coleman, this drug crisis is growing by unbelievable leaps and bounds. It's totally out of control. You send somebody to treatment or to jail, and when they get out, most of them have nothing. Maybe a few clothes in a paper sack. They have nowhere to go. Within days, they're going to turn right back to drugs or a life of crime. What these transition houses provide is a place for them to go. Hot showers, warm, soft bed to sleep in, food for a day or two if they need it. But the main thing is structure and oversight and peer pressure. The cure for drugs and alcohol is being able to talk to someone who understands exactly what you're going through because they've been there themselves.
Well, appreciate you explaining all that, and I have to say, you're a pretty busy fellow with all your hunting and the fishing that you do, and writing about it in the Wilson Post every week, and maybe some other newspapers where it's distributed. But I always appreciate having you here. But I guess maybe I appreciate what you're doing here even more than your other activities, John.
Well, this is just part of paying it back. They did an awful lot for me back in 2010, and this is just a way to pay it back.
Yeah. And Judge Hamilton, we appreciate you being here because you've taken an interest in this too. As he said, you were the guest speaker last year. You've seen all of this from being on the bench those years, and the problems that people encounter, and the struggle that it is to get back doing things like
doing regular living.
Yes.
That's what my father-in-law, Dr. Galler, would say. They can't do regular living.
Regular living. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, but I see the need. I'd also want to mention that by buying a ticket and attending, you're helping in that way, and it is a great supper, wonderful food, and it's not that they lock the doors and don't let people leave until they raise a certain amount of money. It's not long, drawn-out speeches. It's more fellowship, and anyone would enjoy going and seeing what actually is happening there.
Well, I remember going to that one year. John had given me some tickets, and out there after I heard the speech and what all was being done, I thought, I can't accept these tickets without making a donation. So
that's the idea.
I know I donated at least the cost of the tickets, maybe more. I've forgotten now, but it's you wonder if you didn't have this, where would these people be? And you can't help everybody, but you're trying. And those who get to participate here, I would think are should be appreciative for what is available there for them. Trying to give them a hand up.
Sure, you've heard that story about the person walking down the beach and there's starfish everywhere, and this person is walking along and throwing a starfish back in the water, and someone comes up to him and says, "Man, what are you doing here? There's so many starfish. You're not going to be able to take care of all these." And he says, "Well, I can't take care of all of them, but that one right there, I can change his life.
Right.
And so, you just cast that net out and try to help people. And it's so worthwhile to give life, as I said, regular living type life back to someone where you get up in the morning, you eat breakfast, you go to work, you come in at night, eat supper, maybe watch television, go to bed, and you do the same thing over and over again. But that's life, and it's just so wonderful when people can be actually saved.
It's a real joy when you have a success, when you see one of your men come out of that house, get a good job, get married, start raising a family, and then start coming back and giving back.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it's this Thursday night.
This Thursday night, the 10th at 6 o'clock, East-West Building, James E. Ward Agricultural Center. And for more information, you can call 615-449-3891 for advance tickets, or tickets are available at the door, and we'd love to have you.
All right, and I think this is where you've had this from the beginning, is
Right,
the East-West
right.
Building there.
And we've streamlined it and refined it, and it gets better every year.
Well, Judge, you've got another trip planned, I think you said, during the break.
Yes, I love having something to kind of look forward to, and it gives me then a purpose to go to the gym and try to stay fit as best I can. So I have a pheasant hunt that I'm going with some of my friends in November, and then my wife and I are actually planning to go back to Africa in August for a photo safari, and just to be there, among the wildlife and nature. It's really something.
You love that.
I do.
John, you've had some bouts with illness here lately, but it seems like you're doing a lot better.
I got my innards kind of rearranged. They took out some bad parts and put some new ones in and patched some stuff up, but I'm doing great.
You have a way of explaining things unlike anybody else I think I've ever known. But that's why we read your column in the paper. You tell us a story every week.
I love the feel. He knows what a deer feels like to be field dressed now.
It was. I guess it was kind of funny. I came out of surgery about 6 o'clock at night, and I woke up from the anesthesia, and my wife was sitting there, and she said, "How do you feel?" And I thought that was the stupidest question I've ever heard. I said, "They put a dadgum zipper in my stomach. How do you think I feel?"
Well, we're glad that you're up and around, and maybe even able to deer hunt. And,
I've been a couple of times already.
All right. Well, thanks for being here this morning, Judge. Thank you. And don't forget the Fellowship House fundraising dinner this Thursday night at the Ag Center. $25 for tickets,
Right.
and they will be available at the door, but you can buy them ahead of time, and they certainly appreciate your contribution to help them keep on keeping on.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Coleman.
Thank you all for being with us today. Well, that's going to do it for this Monday. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Tuesday edition. And until tomorrow, I wish you a magnificent day.